Greetings and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to one and to all. Trusting all are safe and well. Give yourselves a round of applause for making it to and through another day. Because as we know, each day is a blessing. And I believe we should give thanks for that for many obvious reasons. And for those of you who are not into the obvious, life can change with a blink of an eye. If you are blessed to live long enough, you will truly understand and relate to that sentiment. Thank you to those that have been engaging and leaving comments. I've received on other platforms some, and it's expected, some negative backlash, not a lot, but it was in reference to a short that I posted when I left the courthouse yesterday of this man who, in my opinion, was foul. I'm going to speak on that later, but today I want to speak about Hugo, Hugo or Hugo Hernandez. I am not positive on the proper way to pronounce his name. I've heard some people say Hugo, I've heard others say Hugo. So it might be Hugo in his native language. So Hugo Rene Hernandez Mendez. This is the man who was charged in taking the life of 19-year-old Dacara Thompson. Again, I was at the courthouse yesterday and I've been following this for a while. I've actually gone to many of these places. And again, my condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of this young woman whose life was cut short senselessly. I don't have to go into detail of some of the comments that people have left because no matter what, in certain situations, there's going to be negativity. No matter how positive you try to be, there's going to be someone who is going to be negative. One thing that Miss Carmen, Miss Carmen Thompson, the mother of Dacara, said during a press conference is she was not happy with knowing, learning that Hugo Hernandez Mendez was released from the United States Park Police when he was arrested in April for suspicion of DUI. It has come out that he has drug issues along with adult beverages consumption issues. Now, this is what I want to focus in on today. For reasons still under investigation, it appears, earmark that, it appears that Dacara willfully entered a vehicle driven by the suspect, according to Prince George's County Chief of Police Nader. The driver went to the home in Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland. Of course, I've already been there. Those of you that have been following me know that. So this is what I want to talk about. And that's one of the video thumb pages that I had up. This is beginning to turn political, and again, my heart bleeds for the family, the mother, the father, the family, again, friends and loved ones, because it is my opinion, again, my opinion, nobody else's but mine, that there is something seriously wrong, and information has been skewed Again, I mentioned my feelings as it relates to the timeline, and there are a lot of people that share that sentiment. In the grand scheme of things, justice, justice for Dacara Thompson is the goal. However, and the reason why I say however is it appears that, and I could be wrong, it's moving slower than what I would think something of this magnitude would go. I believe it is turning political now because Prince George's County mentioned in their press conference that any questions should go to the Department of Justice. Well, I disagree with that they don't want to talk about the immigration status. And a ICE detainer was only put on him the Friday before his arrest. So again, a lot of questions are looming. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand, and someone had the nerve, like I said on another platform, when I mentioned that PG County is not safe to say PG County, you mean the world. Actually, I don't live in the world, okay? I do a lot of business. I know a lot of people, and I'm in and around PG County quite a bit, so I cannot speak to the world. I guess, again, in the grand scheme of things, the world is not safe. It's not how it used to be. But what I can also say is Prince George's County is not the same. And there has been issues in Prince George's County for years. And for those of you, again, I applaud everyone that is reporting on the story. But unless you are actually here and you're confronted, okay, and confronted and see and hear certain things with your own ears and eyes, a lot of what is being done and said is speculation. Okay, I just want to be clear with that. Again, that's no slight to anyone. So, according to reports, again, I can only go by what reports state. We see this right here. Okay, I'm looking for a particular slide. All of these are important, but this is right here, my talking point for this broadcast. According to what was allegedly told to detectives, and I'm saying allegedly because at this point, my faith in particular investigations, again from my optics, has waned quite a bit. And I have my reasons for saying that. You can agree to disagree. At this point, it really doesn't matter to me. I know what I've seen for my own eyes and ears and nose. Again, earmark that, my nose. Had previously been arrested by United States Park Police for DUI but was released. A federal detainer has been lodged against him. Again, allegedly, he told police that he had been at Galaxy Nightclub in Hyattsville the night, and that part I already truncated, but of course, the night that 19-year-old Dacara Thompson went missing, and then subsequently we learned that she's no longer here. So let us travel to the Galaxy Nightclub in Hyattsville, Maryland. This can be found. Again, I implore you to do your own independent, meticulous research. Please do not take my word, even though I have the experience, more than some of you may know, but do your own research and you'll come up with the same thing, maybe. There's an age requirement, and also You are supposed to, according to the website, and I cannot say if this has been modified or edited after this horrific event. I cannot say that, but I'm just putting things out there in the universe. You are to have a government issued identification, and how convenient, if you pay attention, non-citizens are to have some form of documentation, i.e., a passport. Please screenshot that or keep that or go to the website for yourself. Next, there was a foam party number 4, which means, obviously, there have been other foam parties at the Galaxy Nightclub. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm 56 years old. I have absolutely no idea what a foam party is. But what I do know, according to the website, and again, check for yourself, this foam party allegedly, which again, I don't know for sure if this party or event took place, it was on their website. So I'm putting that out there. I wasn't there. I cannot tell you. But according to the website, there was supposed to be an event called Foam Party number 4, scheduled August 22nd, 9:30 p.m., and to close at August the 23rd, 3 o'clock a.m., 2025. Location, of course, University Boulevard in Hyattsville, Maryland. Next, and this is what I want to talk about, but at another time. The Foam Party nightclub had a twerking contest that night. Again, I do not know if this event actually occurred, but it was advertised. Okay? And a twerking contest. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my eagle landed years ago. I couldn't twerk if I wanted to. Again, young people, I am not saying that, and older people too, that are out there doing their thing. I am not judging you and saying not to have a good time, but please, you must understand there are people that paid attention to that short yesterday that are truly deviants, and they will prey on people. And sometimes it doesn't even matter the age. So again, there was a twerking contest, at least advertised, being promoted on their website with a purse, a generous purse of $2,000. Okay? $2,000. Now, Hugo Hernandez said when he was questioned, he was at the club. Question is, and this is where the deep dive goes, was he inside the club, or was he outside of the club waiting for his ex-girlfriend with whom he said never showed? That's the question. There's a lot of questions, but that's a question right there. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, which again, some people may get upset, but there are many people that have blamed drill music to tragic endings. There are people that have blamed heavy metal for tragic endings. There are people that have blamed hip hop for tragic endings. It's music. It is culture, some culture. The common denominator for a lot of these tragic stories. Again, this is something that you can research. However, it states some of these genres can be the promotion of risky behavior. Music, and again, these are opinions, even though, again, do your research. Music can influence perceptions, again, very important right here, of reality and normalize behaviors depicted in the lyrics and music videos. When artists promote risky sexual behaviors and drug use, or the listeners may, not saying that they will and are, this article says listeners may be more inclined to adopt similar attitudes and actions. Next, sexual objectification and harassment. The hyper-actualized context of some music and performance can increase the actual harassment or assault. Studies, again, do your research, have shown that music with misogynistic lyrics can increase, and it will go on to say some of these behaviors. Again, not being opinionated, just giving you a little bit of background. Ladies and gentlemen, when I say to you, Prince George's County has been in trouble for a long time, but a lot of things haven't been reported. Maryland is sanctuary. I think most people know that. If you don't, it is. And I said not even a week ago, prior to the Dacara Thompson story, that I have seen myself an influx of vehicles bearing Texas license plates. Okay? And the drivers do not look like me, nor Caucasian individuals. So you can pretty much figure that out. We have a lot of undocumented individuals here, and there are politicians that have lobbied for Maryland to be sanctuary, but I don't think that they understand the criminality that's attached. And I am not speaking to the entire population. That would be irresponsible and 100% inaccurate. But there's a large enough population there. I'm going to show you an example of such issues that has plagued Prince George's County for years. Now, I'm taking you way back, and the reason why I'm choosing this time frame is to show, to illustrate how long these issues have been going on, and it's not getting the attention that it needs. Now, unfortunately, it probably won't until one of these politicians may end up being a victim, or someone close to them being a victim. So, without further delay, let's get into that. Again, this was years ago. A U.S. District Judge, Alexander Williams, sentenced, let me cut this off so you can hear me clearly, Eduardo Puentes aka Carlos, aka, keep in mind, there's a couple of aliases here, the Colombian, who at that time, okay, this is old, again, this is old. He was 43 at the time, of Rockville, Maryland. Rockville, ladies and gentlemen, is in Montgomery County. Okay, so there's a population of a certain population saturating Maryland, and they have for many, many years. To 41 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. For what, ladies and gentlemen? The conspiracy to transport at least 100 women from New York and New Jersey to Maryland. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are familiar with the tri-state area, you know that New York and New Jersey is but a 3 or 4 hour drive. Well, I guess it depends on what part of New York and New Jersey. There are buses that can take you to New York and New Jersey. And the reason was to employ them as ex-workers. You see the actual term, but I'm ad-libbing. Announced former, actually missing, attorney for the District of Maryland, Rod Rosenstein. He actually was the AUSA when I had my federal stint. So I just want to interject that. According to testimony at the 1.5-week trial, each week, okay, pay attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. It's on your screen, but those of you trucker listeners and those who may be doing something, I will read this for you. Each week from September 2003 to November 2005, Puentes conspired with others to transport women from New York and New Jersey to Maryland to employ them as ex-workers. Witnesses testified that Puentes, and here's another name, Pieria, and I know in my gut, I just truly messed that name up, and my apologies, collected the money from the places of ex-work and then distributed the proceeds among the co-conspirators. The conspirators would return the ex-workers to New York and to New Jersey on Sunday evenings, and then travel back to Maryland the next day with a new group of ex-workers. Ladies and gentlemen, you can research that. That dates back to 2005. We are now in year 2025. So that should be a red flag. That should tell each and every one of you under the sound of my voice, we have had this problem for years. Years. This isn't new. All of these people that have come up missing, and they're not just women, they're men as well. There are people speaking up, but not the way it should be. not the way it should be. Now, one of the main problems that I have with this particular case, and I have a lot of problems, the government, Pam Bondi, Christy Noam, they're doing their best to make sure that Kilmar Garcia is gone. It's out of this country. Lickety split. Yes, he came here illegally. But according to reports, he was not supposed to be deported. But by error, by DOJ's admission, he was deported again. And they went back to a 2022 arrest in Tennessee and allegations that he is a member of MS-13 and possibly smuggling or trafficking. Again, I don't know whether he is or isn't, whether he did or did not. What I can say is we've had Maryland politicians, I would assume, use Maryland tax dollars, to go to El Salvador. There's a GoFundMe page out for the homegoing of Dacara Thompson. I'm wondering, and maybe they have. I haven't heard anything. It hasn't been front page. If politicians, Senator Chris Van Hollen and Senator Ivey, have you contributed to the homegoing of Dacara Thompson? Have you even spoken on this? Not to say that you haven't, it's just not front page. But your travels to El Salvador for Kilmar Garcia was front page on several news circuits. We have a major problem in Prince George's County. And no matter how some people may want to sugarcoat it and make it seem as though they're doing as much as they can, and maybe they are, to their scope of experience, maybe they're not. Because in my opinion, there are too many people that are missing. And as it relates to this case right here, I want you all to actually Google that. Some of the details of this particular case involves rented apartments. Oh, yes, rented apartments for these ex-workers. Do you know? Do you know that right behind the Galaxy Nightclub is an apartment complex? Quite dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to be careful and be cognizant of everything. Did Hugo Hernandez Mendez go to the Galaxy Nightclub? as he told police? Did he go inside? Did he wait outside for his alleged girlfriend? Or did something else happen? Those are questions that still remain open. Maybe investigators know the answer and just haven't come out with it. But those are just questions that I have. And as I placed up on the screen earlier, that there are some screenshots that you can go to yourself of the Galaxy Nightclub and their policies as far as it relates to age and what documents are needed to actually enter the nightclub. So with that, thank you for those that have tuned in and for those who may catch the replay. This is ongoing, and again, make no mistake, Maryland, we have a serious problem. And again, this has been going on for years. I just gave you an example of an old case, and I chose an old case to illustrate how long it's been going on and how little coverage has been given. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next video, please be safe, be well, and you know the rest. Be healthier. Bye-bye for now.